most important thing we'll face as a city, one, is that I'm gonna say crime. We have new criminals out there that's coming up with all kinds of things of how to swindle somebody, how to commit a crime, how to break into there, you know, and it's a new day and age. It's a new century here we're coming upon. This is just a new generation. And they're out there, they're careless, they don't care, they're doing stuff in the daytime. We have to attack this crime problem in our city. Now, yes, people want to say there's not crime. We see it. And I know I see it. And I get complaints from the citizens.
Funding streams are going to get tighter and tighter. We have to be creative. We have to find ways of really looking at reducing costs, improvements, and just go after it. I mean, we have to be able to be advocates at the federal, state level, and give the citizens of Mobile an opportunity to help. We have to engage in the community. If you educate people and tell them what is happening, you have a better response. They have to know that there's going to be a problem. Just looking at the revenue stream now, it's not going to get better over a short period of time. It's going to take some time to get there.
And what has to be done is for the citizens to be made to understand that we fare far better on the positive than we do the negative. And sometimes our perception does not necessarily comply or is compatible with our reality. It was through the work of this council and previous chief of police that we implemented neighborhood policing. It is through the initiatives that we have initiated that we have worked on this area of crime. We will continue to work on these areas as diligently as we possibly can. We believe crime is coming down. It's a very difficult thing to do. If there's anybody in here who has an answer for stopping crime, you can become a trillionaire tonight.
Having the financial capacity to deliver the services to our citizens will prove to be a challenge. And I think as leaders, we need to be creative and thinking of alternate funding streams for these services and being proactive with the city budget, just as Mayor Jones has done with cutting the 10% across the board to ensure that the level and qualities of services that we provide to our citizens are maintained.
One of the biggest things that stands out is the unemployment growth. With unemployment comes crime. With unemployment comes drugs infiltrating communities. With unemployment comes families starting to break down. If a family is able to feed itself from what it's doing, they will not resort to those kind of activities. Over 10% unemployment in Mobile. I think that reflects that things aren't as rosy as they are being presented, and all of that's been driven by the previous council.
I see the biggest challenge today and for the foreseeable future is our ability to provide essential services with the budget reductions and the reduction in sales and use tax revenue that we see. Right now, we are 8% below budget projections. That's $8.1 million, and we're not even at the end of this fiscal year. The only reason that we've been able to weather it this far is because we have had a $7 million carryover from last year. We won't have that next year. I think it's more important than ever that we look at public-private partnerships. We've heard that tonight. I think businesses are willing to step up to the plate. Most recently, there was conversations about some help with renovating one of our fire stations. I think there's a lot of help out there, but we need to be open and willing to accept that. And I think that I would certainly impress on the administration that I would like for us to move in that direction.
Crucial to our city is that we generate additional funds to do what we need to do. And I would look toward annexation to help us with that. I think the city needs to maintain essential services, pick up our garbage and trash. Our next goal is to protect our citizens, make sure we have adequate police force to protect our citizens. I think oftentimes elected officials get blamed for criminal activity. Crime starts in the heart of the criminal, and it's more I would say, religious than it is political. Because the church was selling with going and saving the world, not the government. So I think we have to make sure that our police are paid well, all our employees are paid well, so they can provide the kind of service that we have learned to expect.
The hardest thing is definitely our budget and our economy and tax revenues. This is going to be a challenge to our city, especially with our capital budget. We need money for infrastructure repairs. We need money every day for drainage structures. We need money also to help take care of blighted areas and structures. Our general fund has to be maintained so that we can provide basic services for police and fire. We have to maintain garbage pickup and all of those things. But we also need money to do your sidewalks, your potholes, and all those things that go along with it, road repaving. But in order to do that, the second greatest challenge that we have is growth. In order to increase our budget and the tax dollars in the city, then our economy must grow. Economic development is a must. The city must grow in size and increase its tax base. If we have to annex to do that, then we must do that. But whatever we do, we must protect the economic stability of the city and its budget and our tax services and our income stream.
Repopulation of the urban center. We're going to grow as a city. People are going to move in here. By us being in the red with sales tax and our tax revenues, it's going to hurt us. We got to work on our finding funding for our public safety. We're going to have to find funding to even increase our green space. We're going to have to find funding to help with the flooding and drainage issue that you asked in the earlier question. Also, our I-65 and I-65 connector. That's going to be a major issue with us as the city grows. It's going to cause significant changes, and we really need to concentrate our efforts.
I think one of the greatest challenges for this city is to find love and compassion and understanding for each one of our own needs, and that's with life, liberty, and while we annex looking into our inner cities with the pursuit of happiness. Those ideas come from working with our youth to make sure that they don't enter the revolving doors and become criminals. With our seniors who sit at home and need help, needing respect, wanting input in government to offer their infinite wisdom into the way we as people lead, and we as people that would sit on council. These things are very important. Those challenges this city faced, it's going to take a lot of work.